We're going to go back to the combine, okay?
Long time ago.
You versus me in the combine, okay? I'm disappointed with some of these.
40.
You did. You got me in the 40. And I remember doing the 3-cone drill and the 20-yard shuttle. Here's the graphic. There you go. I got more ups than you, okay?
Wow.
This whiter man can jump higher than you. Yes.
The jumps.
But damn.
Look at that last one.
Yeah, there's a shock. I don't think that. I really don't think.
No wonder somebody's a head coach and the other one's working with you.
That's Kliff Kingsbury with us last year, and here we are with a year under his belt as head coach of the Arizona Cardinals. He's Kliff Kingsbury. Welcome back, Coach. Great to see you.
Thanks for having me. Good to see y'all.
Biggest lesson you've learned that you didn't know when you were sitting here a year ago, that you know now, that you wish you'd maybe known last year?
I think just, each game comes down to that last possession. So situational football and then consistency in your approach week in, week out. I mean, you're going to have ups and downs over 16 weeks, but you got to be consistent, and those players will follow.
Even for you, a guy who played in close games and coached close, is it amazing how the NFL literally, comes down to 2 or 3 plays?
It really is. And each week you can point them out to your team, and they either went your way or they didn't.
Right.
And that's going to be a big focus this offseason, is situational football.
You guys are in the toughest division in football, which is the bad news. The good news, though, Kyler Murray's the real deal, without question. I was glad to see him win Offensive Rookie of the Year so people would give him the praise he deserves. I think he was overlooked because other teams had better records, but he did special things. Did he exceed your expectations for him coming in?
I knew, the skill set was through the roof, but I thought he really developed as the season went on in some big areas. Leadership qualities, the approach to the game. It's just such a grind for those guys, being the face of the franchise at 22. But I thought he handled it well, matured, and we're hoping year 2 will take one of those big jumps like some of those guys, Mahomes and Jackson, have done in their young careers.
You always knew he was a freak. I've heard your comments, whether you're at Texas Tech or even before that. Anything about his game that jumped out to you even more, where you were just like, man, he's better at that than I thought? Or were you already locked in on him?
Yeah, the skill set I always knew was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'd never seen anybody move on a field like that, and the throwing motion and accuracy, things of that nature.
I know. I just can't get over the power and accuracy, consistency from the guy.
How quick he can get it out. But I think just his approach to the game, the way he sees the game, the information that he can bring back to you after a series, I was really impressed by that.
Yeah.
I was amazed by the way the ball explodes out of his hand and then explodes into the hands of the receiver. He's got an incredible zip. And you said something that caught my attention, because I've been saying the same thing about Kyler Murray. We saw Mahomes year 2, what he did. Jackson year 2, what he did. Kyler's got more experience, more accomplishment than either of them had. What are you doing to prepare him for what could happen? Because it could be he's the guy in 2020 that takes the league by storm the way Mahomes and Jackson did the 2 prior years.
Yeah, as a coach, it's exciting because I can point to that, and he sees it, and he sees it's attainable. They did a great job, both those organizations, building around those 2 quarterbacks, putting great players around them, and we're trying to do the same. But Kyler's expectation of himself is so much higher than any of ours that that's what he expects, and we just got to work hard this offseason to try to get there.
All right, air raid, guns up, okay. I don't like it because he beat me my senior year. He threw the ball 84 times in the damn game, and they beat us. They went for it on every 4th down, so I got a great experience of that damn offense, okay? But tell us 2 things just about the offense translating to the NFL. Did you have to tinker with it? And then the difference between NFL defenses and then maybe what you saw in the Big 12 on a consistent basis.
Yeah, those are great questions. I think initially, I tried to kind of hold the offense back and not run it like we were going to in the preseason and have that element of surprise. And that was probably a mistake, because over about the first month, there was a real feel-out process. Our personnel, how we could do it, how we could be most effective. And I think after about the first month, we got a feel, and we definitely tinkered some things, more tight end sets, kind of played to our personnel strengths.
Yeah.
And then, defensively, just a ton more man coverage. You played in the Big 12. There's seams and zones and people running wide open. It's a little different in this league. And the defense coordinators are geniuses and come up with great plans week in and week out. So I think the approach to the game week in, week out, knowing you're going to get a tough look, it's a challenge.
I almost fell off the chair. I want to say week 2. When Kyler Murray went under the center in Baltimore, were you like, okay, I can't believe this? I'm telling my quarterback.
We executed the exchange. Yeah.
Okay.
He hadn't taken a lot under center at this point, but we're working towards that. It's an element of the game we want to get better at, and I think it'll expand this season.
Yeah.
Today in the NFL, at the quarterback position, I think it's a 365-day-a-year job. Even in the offseason, you're working, you're training, you're thinking, you're studying. How do you react when you hear Kyler Murray from time to time muse about playing baseball while he's playing football.
Yeah, he's not playing baseball. So, so I know. I mean,
have you told him that?
He's a competitor. He knows. He knows how I feel. I told him I would actually kill. I will kill him. Yeah, I actually kill him.
I'll join him.
I'll kill him because I'm out of a job, buddy. So no, but he's such a competitor. I think he just wants people to know, hey, don't forget that I was a top 10 pick in baseball as well, and could do it if it was actually possible.
Right. Okay. When did you feel comfortable? Like, when were you like, okay, this NFL thing, you know, coaching on the sidelines, yelling at refs, when did it finally sink in?
Yeah, I think I'm still working through that.
Yeah.
I'm definitely much more settled. I think as a staff we feel much more settled going into year 2, but it's so much to take on. There's so many different levels to it, but I'm enjoying the process.
Yeah.
Do you have any officials that you've gotten used to seeing for some of your games that you like to yell at more than others?
I try to keep it pretty low-key. I don't think it helps too much, but those guys, they'll come back at you in this league. Like, they won't just take it, so it makes it kind of fun.
And your division. Like, that's the other thing. Like, holy cow,
Put us back
Batman.
in the NFC East, for crying out loud, where we used to be.
It's week in, week out. I mean, you got some offensive geniuses, and you got Pete, who's one of the best coaches of all time, college or NFL. So you got to bring it. They've all had their run, and we're hoping to kind of build this thing and catch up to some of those guys.
Go ahead. Sorry.
After the Chiefs win the Super Bowl, did you reach out to Patrick?
I did. I actually saw him this weekend. Just fired up for him. He's such a, I mean, y'all got to know him a little bit, but such a good person. As phenomenal as he is on the field, he's even better off.
Would you see him in Vegas? Were you at the fight?
I did. I didn't get as good a seats as him, but I got to see him. Got to see him before it, and he's doing great. He's got a lot on his plate, but handling it so well.
What do you hear? Like, what goes through your brain when you hear expanded playoffs and one extra game? How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I mean, you're playing 4 preseason anyways, so if you can knock one of those off and get an extra game, and then the playoffs, to be able to tell your team, hey, we're still in it, and as long as possible, I think it's a positive for everybody.
Yeah, I hear that.
What's your objective for this year, especially in light of the division? Because everybody, we want to make the playoffs and win the Super Bowl. You got the 49ers, the Seahawks, and the Rams.
Right.
Like, what's a successful season for you in year 2?
Just to show, improvement, really. I thought we implemented everything. Now we got to improve those processes and just show improvement in all 3 phases. And if we do that, we'll be in the mix at the end.
One player, just give me one, all right, your first year, in the NFL, you just went like, holy cow, I can't get over how good that player is, or how big he is. Or
I would say Fitz. I mean, just when you watch that guy each and every day, Fitzgerald, it's insane the way he still practices. The last week, we're playing the Rams. We're out of it. They're out of it. It's Friday. It's raining outside. He's diving for passes at the Friday practice. I mean, he's just an absolute machine and can still really get it done on the field.
Okay, that was an easy one. Now give me one on another team. Like
somebody that you saw, you're like, I don't want to see that guy again.
I mean, I know you played Russell Wilson.
Yeah, he was freaky. We played Lamar. Lamar, you play the zone read and you're waiting on him, and he still pulls it and runs past you. I mean, he's that freaky talent-wise, his explosiveness, and he throws it better than I anticipated. I mean, he really had a hell of a year.
Yeah.
All right, well, Kliff, you had a hell of a year with the Arizona Cardinals, and we wish you all the best for 2020. Congratulations on the success.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.